What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about my Glock 19X versus my Glock 43X. In today's video, I'm going to tell you what I like about these guns, what I don't like about these guns. It's kind of a newbie perspective. I've just gotten into these guns this year, and I'll tell you some of the things that I've done to them, and the price differences, size differences, all that good stuff. So let's jump into it. Safety check, it's all good. This is a pretty cool gun. I'm sure if you guys are watching this video, you guys know quite a bit about the history of this gun and how it was put into competition for the military, and SIG ultimately ended up winning the competition. But there's a lot of nuances, I guess you could say, with that competition. When they performed the competition, they didn't really go through all the rounds. They were supposed to go up to 25,000 rounds. I think they only went up to the 11 or 14,000 rounds to each gun. SIG came in on the bid about $100 per gun cheaper, I believe, or if it was it $200 million for the total contract cheaper. Even though some of the reports I've heard or read were saying that this gun actually did perform better in the field testing and whatnot. So and there was a couple different tweaks made to the test gun versus the civilian gun, and I believe there was a slide lock safety put on it, but I believe that was the only difference really. This gun's kind of unique because it comes in flat dark earth, so you can see the slides colored, and the lower polymer section is colored also, so it makes the gun quite unique. It looks unique. This gun is basically a Glock 45. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's a Glock 19 up here, so the slide is approximately the same length, but they made the handle the same size as a Glock 17, so it's kind of like a hybrid gun, same as a 43X, which we're going to get into in a minute. So it's kind of a unique gun. It's got some great reviews. The other difference with this gun too is it has, and I'm not sure what this is, but it has maritime slides or seals or something like that. And I know that's a upgrade that you can buy for your other Glocks. And I believe what that does is make them a little more water resistant. I could be wrong. If I am, post that down into the comments if you guys know anything about the maritime cups, I believe they're called. Speaking of moisture and wet, I've shot this gun 2 different times in the rain. I always take it hunting with me. It's mounted on a chest mount here, and so it's been through a lot of water and a lot of rain. I've shot this thing in the pouring rain, loading wet cartridges and magazines into the weapon. Everything's wet, it just keeps going. This gun has never had a hiccup. I have I think I'm over 1,200 rounds now on this gun with all kinds of different ammunition and whatnot. So superb gun. And the thing that's a little bit different about this compared to other Glocks, we have 2 other Glocks in the family here. This gun is just so smooth. The trigger feels good. It's got a decent click compared to some of the other Glock triggers. I know Glock doesn't have the best triggers or the reputation. This gun feels really good. And the thing about this gun is the slide. Now it is butter smooth. And I know you guys can't feel this on the video, but my wife, she has small hands and whatnot, and she has problems racking the 43X. In fact, it's really hard for her to rack the 43X and slide lock it like that. This gun is not. And I don't know, I know I have more rounds to this than my 43X, but she has a 45, and it just doesn't feel as smooth. I shot the 45 recently, and in the middle of going through the magazine, I kind of just felt right at home because I was so used to this gun. So shooting them, the 45 versus this, I wouldn't say is that much of a difference. Probably won't even find a difference. But yeah, and it's got the lanyard hook, which is a little bit different than the 45. And of course, this little thing that everybody complains about, which won't allow Gen 5 magazines to insert in here, but it's not the end of the world. The gun comes with 3 magazines here. So it comes with a 17 round regular magazine, and then it comes with 2 extended 19 round magazines here. So yeah, there's not really, so as you'll notice, I have an O-light. This is the Baldor S. It's got the light and the laser in the middle. I think it's pretty cool. I know on some of the higher end gun channels, some of the snobbier gun channels, the O-lights don't have the best reviews. I think this is a decent light in my opinion. I haven't had any issues with it. It hasn't flown off. It hasn't, you know, it went dead on me once at the range, which wasn't that big a deal. I just wasn't paying attention to the warning indicator here, but yeah, whatever. The other thing I have on here is the Combat Textiles grip. Now, this is, you know, I haven't even shot the gun with these. I just got these grips put on it, and these grips are awesome. They're really like utilitarian. It matches the gun great. It gives it that, you know, that military look. It's kind of like a fabric almost versus some of the other grips. We'll look at a Talon grip on my 43X next. And this one came with gas pedals on both sides. You guys can see that. Yeah, I really like these grips. It took a while to get them in the mail. And then it comes with a little thing for your one of your extended mags. So I wish it would have come with 2 of these, but whatever. So yeah, so I put the grips on here. I put the light on here. I do plan to get the Holosun SCS. It's a direct fit for this gun. It even has the side serrations here to match the slide here. I just haven't got that yet. I'm gonna, you know, it's Christmas time, I'm trying to buy presents and stuff. So I am getting new sights. I'm not a fan of these sights. These are suppressor sight heights. As you can see, this has the threaded barrel here. So you can put a suppressor on this gun. I know you guys won't be seeing these guns like in California, New York, and I don't even think Washington, you're gonna get a threaded barrel, but the sights, I just can't get on to the sights. I don't like them. In fact, I don't know if it's me because like I said, I'm just really trying to hone my pistol skills this year. And so I've noticed that I've been shooting a lot low and to the left. And I even went as far as to bump this rear sight over to compensate for some of that. And when I aim this gun, I have to aim to where I'm putting the front sight over a little bit to compensate for that. And it's kind of weird, you know, I'm right-handed, but I'm left eye dominant. And some shooters say just stop right there and start shooting left-handed. And I'm trying to go around that. When I shoot with the laser at the range, like I can punch holes, you know, at 5 yards with the laser. So I kind of feel that it's not me necessarily dipping down. I do a lot of dry fire practice too. This gun has over 800 dry fires through it with the Mantis system. And so I practice a lot with that. But yeah, and I even noticed a little bit on my 43X when I was shooting, and I was shooting a little bit down into the left. But you know, practice makes perfect. So I have a lot of work to do on my marksmanship skills with pistols. It's really challenging to say the least. So yeah. 19X. I have new sights. I have the True Glow sights I'm going to put on it probably the next week. I'm just waiting for my vise to push this over. And yeah, I'm going to put the new sights on it. In a couple months, I'll get the red dot for it, and that'll pretty much be done. I have a holster for it, and you know, for concealed carry or whatever. This gun's a little large for concealed carry. I'm a smaller guy, so if you guys are larger, you know, 200-pound dude or whatever, you probably would be able to carry this a lot easier. But I can tell you right now, you know, I appendix carry, and I would definitely have to have a hoodie on, if not a full jacket, carrying this gun, because it's a lot fatter. And we'll do a size comparison here in a minute. It's a lot, you know, wider, and it's also longer here too. So but yeah, the holster, I'm going to be getting some new holsters too. This is just a basic holster. It's a Kydex holster, but it kind of matches with the gun. I can't carry my light. It's not a light holster. So but yeah, I get the job done, you know, for what I'm doing. So let's take a look at the 43X. All right, the little baby Glock 43X. A little safety check there. We're all clear. No magazine, whatnot. So the 43X. Okay, so I got this gun not too long ago. I've only had it for maybe a month or so. I was planning on getting this gun at a later date. Maybe like this month in December, but we found this gun on a super sale. So we got this gun for dirt cheap. I couldn't believe how cheap we got the gun. After our coupons and discounts and everything, we ended up buying this gun brand new at a box store for right at $350, which is amazing. These guns retail for $485, I believe. I think sometimes you can find them for $475 if you order them, but then you have to pay shipping and whatnot, transfer fees and all that stuff. So yeah, we had, what was it? It was a 10% discount on the market price. And then we got $90 in store credit, basically. It was basically like a gift card that we got for making the purchase. They were giving $10 off your future purchases for every $50 you spent. So do the math, blah, blah, blah. So I went back the very next day and spent the $90 on ammo. So, you know, I got free ammo, or I got this gun for $350, however you want to look at it. Pretty cool deal. So I looked at the 43X a couple times in the shops before I purchased it, and to be honest, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it felt. I didn't like the way the slide feels. The slide on this, I think, is getting a little bit better because, you know, I've shot it. I think I have over 300 rounds to this, maybe 350, and I've cleaned it twice since then. I know that's a little overboard, but I'm trying to get in there and just really get the slide clean, and I think it's a little smoother. But when you go look at these guns in the store, it feels like they just pulled them out of a sandbox, because that slide is it just feels gritty and rough compared to the 19X. Like I was saying earlier, it's just butter, man. I don't know how to explain it really. So, and then again, going back to like my wife trying to rack this gun and put the slide lock up, like it takes some pressure, and I'm not sure if the spring tensions are done differently or what they are. It seems like on a lighter slide you would have a lighter spring because you wouldn't have to knock it back as much, but I don't know. I'm not a gun engineer. If you guys know about that, or if you guys have these guns and you think one is harder to pull, post down in the comments and let me know. This is the MOS version. All the MOS versions are coming with the bottom rail, but the bottom rail, just to give you guys a heads up, is narrower than the typical rail here. So we can pop this light off here. I'll show you. You guys can kind of see that difference there. So your typical lights that you buy for full-size Glocks are not going to fit this. And the Mantis system that I train with, you know, it clips onto the bottom here on the rail. It will not clip on here. So what I have to do to practice with the Mantis system on this gun is I have to put some electrical tape. I put 3 wraps of electrical tape, and it makes it just bulky enough to where I can clip the Mantis box or whatever it is on there. And it kind of points down and hangs down, but it doesn't make a difference. It works really, really well. So this gun, the reason saying, you know, I didn't like it, I didn't like the grips either. The grips, when I felt it, again, being used to this 19X, I'd grab it in the store and I'd be like, man, this just doesn't feel good. So the day I bought the gun, I bought the Talon grips for it. So these are the Talon, they're rubberized. I think they have 3 different versions. I'm not sure exactly what version this is. This is not the sanded rubberized version. This is just a rubberized version. And you know, I like these grips. They didn't come with a gas pedal or anything like the other ones did. What I really like about these grips, when you put a grip on a Glock, is it makes this thumb ride more pronounced. So, you know, when you're getting in there and getting your purchase, you know, you get there's more of a shelf there, and I really like that when you put grips. It's just more pronounced. Obviously, it's putting more material over that hump, and it's really pronounced on this one. There's just like a little pocket there for my thumb. I love it. So, really nice. So, yeah, shooting this gun, it shoots good. It has the sights. See if you guys can see these sights here without flagging myself. These are true glow sights, and way better than the suppressor sight heights on the 19X. You just see them better. They're lower, they're more in line with the barrel. They're not a mile up like those are. Yeah, so the reason a lot of people don't like this gun, well, there might be a couple reasons. Number one, they say compare it to the regular 43, you know, the grip is shorter. So again, going back to that hybrid model, this is a hybrid, it's an X, so it's a 43X. So they took the 43 and they extended this grip. So you're getting a longer grip with that shorter slide. Same thing with the 19X, which I feel makes for a better shooting gun. You're able to grip it. I mean, look, I can get all 3 fingers on that. And so that's really good. Now, the drawback, the other thing that people don't like about this gun is the magazine capacity. So these are the stock magazines. It comes with 2 10-round magazines. Now, in today's world, that might be a little low for some people. It kind of is what it is, right? Until enter Shield Arms. I got something to say about these. I did a lot of research on these magazines before I bought them. These are 15-round capacity magazines. They're double stacked, and they're the same size as a factory magazine. Now one might ask, well, why didn't Glock just make the magazines 15 round capacities and make them double stack like they do their larger guns? And nobody really has an answer for that. And I would say that, hey, maybe there's a reason why they don't. And so I ordered these, and I was kind of skeptical, like I said, because if you do the research on these magazines, these Shield Arm, these are Gen 3s too, you'll see that a lot of people had great luck with them. There's comments all over the internet talking about, oh, I have 500 rounds through them, not one single hiccup. You'll find some more comments to where, oh, you know, I shot 300 rounds and I had one hiccup, but I'm still going to use them because they're still great and I can still carry 15 rounds, blah, blah, blah. The thing that pushed me over the edge is I was watching Colleen Noor's video about the 43X.
I'm gonna try this. Let me try to put this in a context for you. 15 rounds in this little tiny piece of nothing.
And why he loved that gun so much. And he was so impressed with the size of the weapon being in the palm of his hand, being able to hold 15 rounds. And he was just going through these magazines like nobody's business. And I think he even went through a couple extended ones with like 20 rounds in them or something. But my point being, as I watched it, I'm like, well, he's not having any issues, you know? So I bought them, and I had the worst luck I've ever had shooting guns before with these. I took them to the range, and my plan was I was gonna put 100 rounds of ball ammo through them, and then I was gonna put 50 rounds of self-defense ammo through them. And so I went to the range, and first magazine, failure to feed on shot 6 or 7, I don't know. So I was like, okay, I tried to put a mark on the magazine, but I can't. The finish is really good on these. Put that magazine to the side, loaded the next one up, ran through the magazine fine. Then I was like, okay, maybe there's a problem with this magazine. Loaded this magazine back up, ran through it, ran fine. Then I put something in this magazine and it jammed up on me. So every other time I would put a magazine in, swapping back and forth, every time I would have a failure to feed. And sometimes during the magazine, I would have 2 failure to feeds on one magazine. And I want to say I had at least 8 failure to feeds in those 100 rounds. I just kept pushing the 100 rounds through. I wanted to see, okay, maybe, you know, maybe something. And then I was thinking in the back of my head, well, maybe it's going to shoot the self-defense ammo. I put after going through the 100 rounds, I put the self-defense ammo in, and on the 4th shot, it failure to feed. I only got 3 shots out, and then it jammed. That's a huge, huge red flag. So I'm gonna tell you guys, even if I had a successful testing session with these, it was always gonna be in the back of my mind that, hey, there's a possibility this could jam. Magazines and semi-automatic weapons are one of the most important pieces of the puzzle when it comes to properly feeding and running properly. And I think a lot of people know that. So when you're gonna take something as reliable as a Glock, okay, and then you're gonna stuff some aftermarket magazine in it, the whole concept doesn't even make sense. But I had to try it. I'm hard-headed sometimes. I had to try it for myself. Anyways, these are going back to the manufacturer. They're shipping out tomorrow, actually, and I'm gonna be done with them. You know, like I said, even if I were to have a successful testing session, you know, it's just gonna be in the back of your mind like, oh, well, what if they were in a jam on shot 639 and you put 600 rounds through it, right? And you're like, oh, these are good, it's vetted. And then on the 39th round after that, it jams. You know, it's just, I was, you know, talking to my wife, I'd rather have 10 for sure shots than 3 or 4, maybe 15, I don't know. Who knows what can happen. Oh, and I did put the mag release in there. So if you guys are wondering, I got the steel mag release from Shield Arms, installed it. So I had, you know, everything done correctly, and it just could not get it to go. So there you go. Stock magazines on a 43X is my recommendation, and this and that. So cool, let's get into a little size comparison. All right, so we're just gonna do a couple basic measurements. That way you guys kind of know, and I know, you know, all this stuff's on the internet and stuff, but so length without the threaded barrel, you're looking at about 7 inches to the end of the beaver tail. And you're looking at right at 5 inches if you come down to this little piece here versus 4.5 here. So you're saving a 1/2 inch there. And then we got 6 inches here, so you're saving 1 inch there. So you're getting a 1/2 inch shorter here, 1 inch shorter on the barrel. And then if we look here, now this is really important, the narrowness, because if you're appendix carrying, or even if you're side carrying or whatever, and it's concealed, it's inside the waistband, the narrowness of the gun becomes very important because it's just that much less sticking out and protruding and trying to print through your clothes. So I notice when I carry this, I can wear a hoodie. I mean, I can even wear sweatpants and a hoodie with this, and it's still, you can't see it, you know, and that's because this gun is narrower. and it's a little bit shorter here because, you know, if you just pretend like your belly's here, see this part sticking out, this part's really gonna wanna stick out. And there's better holsters. I'm gonna get better holsters that help push the gun in against your belly off the belt. So, yeah. So roughly, this is just a rough estimate here. We're looking at just under an inch, a little over 900 thousandths. And this, we're looking at almost 1.25 inches. So you're looking at a 1/4 inch difference. Right here, let's get this. Yeah, that's almost 1.25 inches versus just over an inch and 75 thousandths. So 1/4 inch difference. Like I said, it doesn't seem like that much, but it does make a difference. So yeah, I think I covered everything. Price difference, yeah, you know, I told you how much I paid for this, so it almost makes this one twice the price. I paid full retail for this, $750, which may seem quite like a lot, but again, you get the 3 magazines, and you get the threaded barrel. I mean, the threaded barrel for these, I think, are 150 bucks. So I think it's a decent deal. I love the gun. I know it is one of the more expensive Glocks, if not the most expensive Glock, but in my opinion, it's the best Glock. So yeah, this is probably my favorite weapon that I own, and I just love this thing. So like I said, it might be a little too big to conceal carry. I do carry it sometimes, but that's typically only if I'm wearing a full-size jacket or whatnot. This thing can go anywhere with you all the time. Probably get away with wearing shorts and t-shirt with it, especially if you're a larger guy with the proper holster. Yeah, so I mean, shooting these, yeah, people say there's a little more recoil here. It's lighter, blah blah blah. Kind of hard to tell, but then again, I only have like 350 rounds to this thing. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's it, guys. If you have any questions or comments, post them down below. This was a fun video to make, comparing the weapons, two weapons that I really, really like. And, I know there's a lot of people that don't like the Glocks, or say this or that about them, and they're fans of this. And I'm not saying I'm a fan of Glock. It's just, if you're going to conceal carry, which I think everybody should conceal carry, it's very easy to get your concealed carry permit in Oregon, at least. When you pull the trigger, you want it to go bang if you're in a life or death situation. And I know nobody wants to be in that situation. Nobody hopes to be in that situation. It just goes back to reliability. I'm sorry, but I think it's pretty much well known that Glocks are one of the most reliable pistols out there. And I feel that any time you have a jam, it's going to be most likely user error. But then again, those are just my opinions. And I think that if you are going to be in a situation where something has to happen, then you want the odds to be in your favor, or you want the best odds, right? So the best odds would be, going with a Glock for personal protection or carry. And if you guys dig deep enough, you guys can find people talking about ROs or whatever, people working at the ranges and stuff, and armorers or whatever. And they'll say, yeah, Glocks have issues, just like any gun, any machine's gonna fail at some point with wear, tear, whatever. But overall, less likely to have a failure with a Glock versus whatever you wanna put out there. So those are my reasons for having these and owning these. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll probably do a video when I get my sights put on this, and maybe with the red dot, so look forward to that. I have some AR builds that I'm working on. I've officially started working on them. I got my lowers, and I'm gonna be building an M16 next year, and then after that, I'm gonna do the Mark 18, which will require a tax stamp if I do it all properly. The M16 won't, but yeah, I'm just gonna do a A2 replica, so that's gonna be a very fun project, and I'll probably document some of that on video too. So yeah, until next time, folks, have a good day.